Hi, I'm Kathy Dodson.
And I'm Jocelyn Lindsay. Welcome to another amazing episode of 5 Minute Indie Insights, where we're going to talk about tips and tricks for publishing and writing and marketing and all the things that have to do with getting your book out into the world and into the hands of your readers. And today we've got a great topic that, like many of these, we could sit and chat about forever, but it's all about productivity, and we want you to be productive. So we're going to keep it to 5 minutes.
Love that.
Let's go.
Um, yeah, so several weeks ago, sometime earlier this year, we gave you our favorite craft books. Today, we're going to give you our favorite productivity books because we talk about doing all the things all the time. The only way you're going to do that is if you're productive. So I
Yes.
am going to start because there's a writing productivity book that I just love. I'm going to share my screen. And this is it. It's called
Yes.
1,000 words per hour, which is truly ridiculous. I'm never going to write 1,000 words in an hour. You can actually, it's written by Chris Fox. You can actually get a free copy of this by going to chrisfoxwrites.com. And you could also buy it on Amazon, for $3 if you want. But he really talks about the writing process, about sitting down in the chair every day and the things that you can do to make yourself write faster. And guess what? These things work. I've never gotten close to 5,000 words an hour, but I write a lot faster when I use his methods. It's things like making sure you jot down what you're going to write about before you start writing, right? So that you know where that story's going. You're going to do a scene about XYZ and this is going to happen. And so then it's in your head and you start writing. For using tracking to improve how you write, right? Writing in sprints. Fast drafting, which means writing forward. Don't go back and edit. He even talks about dictation. So all kinds of different things that actually help you put more words on the page every time you sit down if you follow his methods. I reread this book once a year. It's that important.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great one. Thumbs up for me as well. I think that's a fact. I think that's a fabulous book, especially when it comes to writing. I think for my productivity book, I'm stepping outside of the writing sphere and going to talk about like the mind, the brain, the mindset sphere for writing, because I find the book that I love so much, I will share it with you all here, is The Big Leap by Gary Hendricks. And this book is fabulous for mindset. This is one that the first time I read it, I turned right around and read it again. And then I got the audiobook, and I don't often listen to audiobooks. And I listened to the audiobook like twice. So this is a fabulous book. It's a little bit older. It was published in 2010, 9 or 10, I can't remember. But it is so good because it talks about limiting beliefs and how we have a subconscious thermostat in our brains for how much success, love, happiness that we think we deserve. And when we go beyond that setting, when our thermostat gets too high, we start sabotaging ourselves and return to our comfort zones. And I find with a lot of writers, this sometimes is the reason that there's procrastination. They crash after they've had a success, and that it's not what's happening externally necessarily. That sometimes we just have these limits in ourselves that we have to address. It's not laziness. It's not that the work is too hard. It's not that we don't have the time. It's that there's something going on in our heads that is keeping us from going beyond what we think we can go beyond. And he talks about zone of genius. I don't know if he was the first guy to talk about zone of genius, but he talks about how staying in your lane of what you're really good at and then find other resources or people to help you when you start looking at needing to do something that's not your zone of genius. And I think as writers, especially indie writers, we think we have to do everything. And that there are just some things that we're not great at. I mean, that we need to bring in help, and we need to get somebody to help us to get into that. We don't need to go out and get a master's degree in statistics to understand how to analyze our Facebook ads. We just need somebody or a tool that can help us analyze them while we continue to write. Because as writers, that's really what we have to focus on, is continuing to get books out there. So yeah, The Big Leap, I think I read it in like either somewhere between like 2018 and 2020, right before COVID. And so and it was such a fabulous book. So I highly recommend it.
I recommend it as well. I read it in December of 2019. I'll never forget that because the world shut down and I happened on a project in Tanzania then. But great book. Totally.
Absolutely. And so, I think if you're struggling with productivity, there are books out there to help you. If you've got a great book recommendation that you love, please put it in the comments. Yes, we are always looking for new books to go into our to be read piles. And we'd love to hear what's working for you. And if you need a recommendation or are stuck on something, let us know too. We would love to hear from you. So that's a quick one. We want you to go be productive now. So
Good night to writing or reading something that will help you write more.
exactly. So thank you so much for joining us. We love having you here. Hit like, hit subscribe. We hope we see you next time. Thank you. Bye.